Imagine a city with over 1 million people, thriving, expanding, and dominating the ancient world. But there are no faucets, no pipes, no running water, no modern plumbing. You wake up in ancient Rome, the sun baking the city streets. You need water, but there are no taps to turn on, no plastic bottles to grab from the fridge. Instead, you join a crowd of people walking toward a grand marble fountain where cool, fresh water flows constantly. But wait, where is all this water coming from? There are no electric pumps, no underground sewer systems like today. Yet Rome, a city larger than any other in its time, managed to supply over 1 million people with clean drinking water every single day. How did they do it? How did they move millions of gallons of water across mountains, valleys, and vast distances without modern pumps or technology? And just wait until later in this video when we reveal the secret underground tunnels and hidden water pipes that were so advanced. Some of them are still in use today. The lifeblood of Rome. Why water meant power. For the Romans, water wasn't just for survival. It was a symbol of power, civilization, and dominance. Other ancient cities struggled with water shortages, relying on wells or nearby rivers. But Rome had a never-ending supply that fueled its empire. Where did all this water go? Public fountains. Free for all citizens, ensuring no one went thirsty. Bathhouses. Giant complexes where Romans socialized, bathed, and exercised. Some used thousands of gallons of water daily, private homes. The wealthy had running water piped directly into their luxurious villas. Agriculture, farms, vineyards, and livestock relied on a steady water supply. Sanitation, Rome's massive sewer system, the Cloaca Maxima, needed constant water flow to carry waste away. To support all this, Rome didn't just need water, it needed an unstoppable, uninterrupted water supply. And that's where their greatest engineering marvel came in. Aqueducts, the Roman superhighways of water. The secret to Rome's water supply? The aqueducts. These weren't just small stone canals. These were massive, sprawling structures, stretching for miles, towering over landscapes and cutting through mountains. They delivered water from distant springs, rivers, and lakes straight into the city. How did they work without pumps? Gravity-powered flow. Every aqueduct was built at a slight downward slope, allowing water to flow naturally without pumps. Bridges and tunnels. Engineers built stone bridges to carry aqueducts over valleys and carved tunnels through mountains to maintain a steady flow. Waterproof concrete. The Romans used a secret ingredient, pozzolanic concrete, to make their aqueducts last for centuries. How much water did they deliver? Rome's aqueducts transported up to 300 million gallons of water per day, enough to fill 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools daily. Famous Roman aqueducts Aqua Appia, 312 BC. The first aqueduct built underground to protect it from invaders. Aqua Claudia, 52 AD. Stretched 43 miles, supplying water to Rome's wealthiest districts. Aqua Virgo, still in use today, supplying water to the famous Trevi fountain. But these aqueducts weren't just impressive, they were a matter of life and death. If they were damaged or destroyed, Rome itself could collapse. The hidden world beneath Rome, underground water systems. Above ground, Rome's aqueducts were impressive, but below the city, that's where things got truly advanced. Cisterns, Rome's secret water reservoirs. To store extra water, the Romans built massive underground cisterns. The largest, Piscina Mirabilis, could hold 20,000 cubic meters of water. The Castellum, the Roman water control center. Once water reached the city, it was stored in a castellum, a massive stone water tower that controlled distribution. From here, it flowed into 3 separate pipes. Public fountains, ensuring free drinking water for all citizens. Bathhouses and latrines, keeping Rome clean and luxurious. Private homes of the rich. Those who could afford it had their own water supply. This system made sure no drop of water was wasted. But while the wealthy enjoyed running water in their villas, the poor had to fetch water from public fountains scattered across the city. The rich had running water. The poor had to wait. Not everyone in Rome had the luxury of private water. For the rich, private pipelines brought running water straight into their homes. They had indoor baths, fountains, and even heated pools. For the poor, public fountains were their only source. If they needed water, they had to wait in line to fill jars and carry them home. But there was one place where everyone, rich or poor, could enjoy Rome's greatest luxury, the bathhouses. Roman bathhouses, the water hubs of the empire. Bathhouses in ancient Rome weren't just places to wash up. They were the heart of Roman social life. These massive complexes were part gym, part spa, part lounge, and even part library. For many Romans, a visit to the bathhouse was a daily ritual, a place where they could relax, socialize, and even conduct business. At their peak, Rome had over 900 bathhouses, ranging from small neighborhood baths to enormous imperial complexes that could hold over 3,000 people at a time. The most famous among them, the Baths of Caracalla, was a 50-acre mega-complex with grand columns, mosaics, gardens, and even an underground heating system. Inside a Roman bathhouse. Each bathhouse had a specific routine, and visitors would often go through the following steps. Caldarium, a steaming hot bath, heated by underground furnaces called hippocausts. Romans used olive oil instead of soap, rubbing it on their skin before scraping off dirt with a tool called a strigil. Tepidarium, a warm pool, the perfect place to relax and chat with friends. Frigidarium, a cold plunge pool, believed to improve circulation and wake up the senses after the hot baths. Some of the grandest bathhouses even had libraries, gardens, gyms, and restaurants, making them true entertainment centers. But keeping these massive complexes running required millions of gallons of water daily, a steady supply that could never run dry. So what happened when disaster struck and the water was cut off? The greatest threat to Rome's water: disaster and war. For centuries, Rome's water system was a marvel of engineering, but even the greatest innovations have their weaknesses. The Roman aqueducts, despite their brilliance, faced constant threats from nature, enemies, and even the Romans themselves. Droughts, nature's unforgiving grip. Rome's water supply depended on rivers, springs, and rain-fed reservoirs. In times of drought, these sources ran dangerously low, forcing city officials to ration water. Public fountains would dry up, bathhouses would shut down, and the poor were often left struggling to find clean drinking water. While underground cisterns helped store reserves, they couldn't sustain Rome's massive demand forever. Barbarian attacks, when water became a weapon. As Rome's power declined, its enemies found a devastating way to cripple the empire by targeting its water supply. The most infamous attack came in 537 AD when the Goths, led by King Vitiges, laid siege to Rome. Knowing the importance of water, they destroyed the aqueducts, cutting off the city's lifeline. The result? Famine, disease, and mass exodus. With no steady water flow, Rome descended into chaos. Within decades, its population plummeted by 90%, from over 1 million to just 100,000 people. The once great capital of the world became a ghost town. Corruption and water theft, the greed of the elite. Even before its fall, Rome's water supply was often manipulated by the wealthy. Powerful elites bribed officials to divert more water to their lavish villas, leaving the poor with barely enough to survive. Some even illegally tapped into aqueducts, stealing water for their private gardens, pools, and fountains. Yet despite droughts, war, and corruption, Rome's aqueducts survived for over 1,000 years, a testament to their unmatched engineering and innovation. Rome's water legacy. We still use their methods today. When the Roman Empire collapsed, much of their water system fell into ruin. But remarkably, some aqueducts and pipes are still in use today. How Rome influenced modern plumbing. Gravity-fed aqueducts inspired modern water pipelines. Underground sewers influenced city wastewater systems. Public fountains led to today's public water access points. Even now, Rome's ancient water supply system is considered one of the greatest engineering feats in history. Conclusion: Rome's genius lives on. So the next time you turn on a tap, take a shower, or flush a toilet, remember, you're using a system that the Romans mastered over 2,000 years ago. They built a city that shouldn't have been possible, yet it thrived for centuries. All because they harnessed the power of water, like no civilization before them. Would you have survived in ancient Rome without modern plumbing? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more mind-blowing insights into the ancient world, subscribe now.